Hello, AGA students. You've taken the course. You're near the end of AGA 15. You've learned a lot of software. You've learned about design. And now you're wondering, what's next? What else can I take? Well, there are a few options for you. First of all, there's Applied Graphic Arts 25. There's Animation 25 or Photography 25. And before I get into any more of this, you need to know that you don't have to stick with only one of these paths. You can start down one, you can be going down two paths. I know students who have taken courses in all three of these paths before, so you don't have to restrict yourself, okay? But I'm going to get into a little more detail on the next slide. So Applied Graphic Arts 25, it's really a lot more of what you've been learning in Applied Graphic Arts 15. The first course you took, you learned some software, you learned Photoshop, Illustrator, you learned about design, and you're going to apply those skills, but learn more and more. It's amazing. As it says here, students will learn how to combine graphic imagery with type and photos to solve complex visual problems. And that's really what this course is about. It's not just, oh, I'm going to make a poster. It's how do you solve a visual problem that a client comes to you with. And on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see one of the season posters that was designed by a student. And you probably can pick out some details that you worked on in AGA 15. Imagery, illustration, typography, there's alignment, there's proximity, there's contrast. There's all of these things that you've learned so far. But the cool thing is that you're going to be actually working with people who are going to be giving you problems to solve. On the top right-hand side here, we have a poster that was done a few years ago. The color choices were very deliberate. The whole layout of the typography and how it hits the edge of the frame, all done by a student in consultation and collaboration with other people. It's a very fun course. So what other things will you be doing? Well, besides designing posters for all of the events that happen at Victoria School of the Arts and outside of our building, you'll be doing package design, logo design, and you're going to be collaborating not just with other students in the class, but students outside of class, as well as staff members. Directors, people in charge of productions will come to your class, discuss how they see a poster designed for their particular production. They'll explain their production. They might give you some ideas, and then you're left to your own devices to figure out how to solve that problem. But along the way, you're going to learn a lot more about design, and you're going to be collaborating with other students. Here are a couple of other examples. And again, you're looking at these posters probably thinking, yeah, I see some interesting elements here, some things that I learned in AGA 15, but they're just that much more expanded, that much more refined in Applied Graphic Arts 25 and 35. Moving on to another path, this one is Animation 25. And students explore movement and how it is reproduced through animation. Students will learn how to prepare animation through preliminary drawings, scripting, and storyboards. Students will learn to keyframe animations and create believable movement. So on the left-hand side there's an interesting example of a screen capture of an animation. This one is, I know it's kind of an unusual looking image, but it's actually a line drawing and colorization, and it's been animated. It's an elevator technician getting into an elevator, and the number pad on the wall of the elevator jumps off the wall and has an altercation with the repair person. It's quite well done. Top right hand side, there's another screen capture of a different animation, and part of it was live video and part of it was frame by frame drawing. So what will you be doing? Well, one of the big things that you'll be doing is creating stories, because all good animations start with a good story. And then you take that story and you build it. You create a script, a storyboard, you sketch out your ideas, and then you move on to the software. On the left-hand side, we have a screen capture of a 3D animated little movie. And on the bottom right-hand side, we have the same screen capture of that hand-drawn animation. One thing you need to know is that you're going to be learning different styles of animation, and your teacher is going to give you the tools and the knowledge so that you can animate your story. I'm just going to bring in another animation here just to give you an example of a hand-drawn and colored animation, a frame-by-frame animation. So let's watch this one. It's a short one. Moving on to another example. Here we have a 3D animated movie. And I'm just going to give you a small portion of this movie because it's a couple minutes long. But I want you to get an idea of what students do in animation 25 and 35. So here we go. Well, those were two awesome animations. Something you could be doing if you enroll yourself in Animation 25. The third path that you could take is Photography 25. And you're going to use a camera as a means of communication and artistic expression. You're going to learn about all the controls, exposure, imaging software. You're going to learn beyond what you can do in Photoshop. We're going to bring in another piece of software that is going to allow you to edit your photographs more precisely. And we're also going to talk about photography as far as contemporary photography goes, but also photography history. So what are you going to be doing? Well, it's all about making photos, and you're going to learn the technical aspect of the camera, the f-stop and shutter speed, and how to adjust your camera so that you get the shot that you picture in your mind. But I'm also going to talk about composition and lighting and the philosophy of photography and how photographers, professional photographers, operate. I'm just going to talk about a couple of these examples right here. This one on the left, that was a very deliberate photo. It was all arranged and it was used on a cover of an awards ceremony that we had. And the bottom right-hand photo, that black and white photo was taken one day. We brought in a small kiddie swimming pool, filled it with milk and water, and we had a couple of our photo students model for us and lie in the water. And we used these photos for a gallery show that we put on. Here are some more examples. On the top right-hand side, you'll see a photo of an office tower downtown Edmonton, the Edmonton Tower, and we will be taking walking field trips where under teacher supervision, we move as a class and we wander downtown looking for different locations to take photos and practice street photography. Bottom left, we have photographs from the theater, and we are instrumental in gathering photos to be used in yearbook, which is another course you can take. The students in photography have the opportunity to go to rehearsals and performances and take photographs of these live events. On the right-hand side, you'll notice that there's a model running past this tree, but you only see part of the model. The model's been cut off. And I'm sure taking AGA 15, you understand about masking and how that photographer removed part of the model from the image. And finally, a few other images that photography students have submitted for assignments. At the bottom is our class website for showing off the best in photography. So if you want to have a look at some other examples, go to flickr.com/photo/VictoriaPhoto and just have a look at some of the samples. So to recap, we have AGA 25, where you're going to learn more about graphic design and promotional art. You have the opportunity to go into Animation 25, where you're going to create stories and animate them in a variety of different styles. And then Photography 25, where you're going to learn about the technical parts of a camera and how to manually control those parts, but also you're going to learn how to create the photos that you see in your mind, as well as out there on the web. So those are the three paths. And again, you're not limited to one of three. You can certainly take one or all of these classes next year. We certainly hope to see each and every one of you in one of our courses next year. If you have any questions, please have Mr. Wallace or myself, Mr. DeBercier, answer your emails, and we'll get those questions answered for you as soon as we can. But for now, please consider taking one of these 3 courses, and we'll see you next semester. Thank you.